I said, guess who's back? Man, guess who's back? I said, guess who's back? What's going on, boxing fans? It's Backchat TV and I'm back with another video. So, the fight has just ended. The big fight, Devin Haney moving up from a smaller weight. The people said he was naturally the smaller guy. I never really bought that. I never bought that in the first place, but this is what they said. Devin Haney has no power. He's coming up against a power puncher, a champion in Regis Prograi at 140 pounds. They said that Devin Haney was going to outbox Regis Prograi on the back foot, you know, getting away from the power, trying to escape the power. And Regis has slow feet, so Regis is going to have to track him down and stuff like that. I completely disagreed with this from the beginning, and I'll tell you why. I was starting to see a change in Devin Haney's style, you know, as early as the Linares fight, to be honest. He used to, in his early days, fighting on the back foot and, you know, trying to come forward, use his speed coming forward with the right hand every now and then. And that was because he kind of didn't really have that much power. But I think, and I've always thought this, and this fight just proved, I think, that it's not that Devin Haney is not a hard puncher. It's that Devin Haney is naturally quite a big guy. He's actually naturally, his body frame I'm talking about, a welterweight. And he's a guy who will probably end his career at 154 pounds. You can see by his body frame. His body frame is totally different from Regis Prograi. Regis Prograi is the smaller man. It doesn't matter about their weight. If you look at their body structure, Regis Prograi is a smaller man. It's just that Regis Prograi probably wasn't very disciplined to get down to 130 or 135 pounds. If you look at Regis Prograi, he's a 130, 135 pound man, but he's not disciplined enough. He should have started to fight at 135 pound early on in his career, but he was never disciplined enough. And as far as I know, he's always fought 140. He probably feels a bit better with that little added weight and not having to cut that much weight as well. And this is just not the way to do it. The way to do it, to become a 2-weight, 3-weight, 4-weight champion, is the way Devin Haney has done it. You know, from a young age, always kept his body weight down. He was killing himself to make 135 pounds. You know, obviously, he fought at 135 for years, 17, 18, 19, but in your 20s, it gets difficult. We've all seen Devin Haney on the in the weigh-in, looking like a skeleton, you know, and just to make the weight. And that was becoming difficult, but that's what you want to do. You need to kind of, you don't have to, but if you want to become a multiple weight champion, you have to kind of get down to make the weight at lower weights. It's very easy to strip off body fat and not sacrifice strength and power. You know, you can do it, but it does get difficult, and it was getting difficult for Haney. Haney could move around the ring at 135. He was sharp, he was punching, but he just didn't have that pop because he wasn't able to rehydrate properly, because 135 was just too small. Regis Prograi could have made 135. He made 139 in the weigh-in. He could easily make 135 with a bit of discipline. Earlier on in his career, he could have been an undisputed world champion at 135 pounds and then moved up to 140, just like the way Haney is doing. But I don't know if he did that. Anyone tell me? I haven't really checked if he ever fought at 130 pound or 135 pound. As far as I know, he's always fought at 140 pounds. So when you know, can't be bothered to kind of try and make a smaller weight and you prefer to be comfortable, you don't want to cut a lot of weights, you don't want to be uncomfortable, you'd rather concentrate on keeping a bit of weight and not having to cut that much, like I suspect Regis Prograi has done, then what happens is you may be a champion at one weight, but you know, you're only going to be a champion at 140, and then you get a guy like Haney coming up who's naturally bigger, more discipline, makes 140 pounds on the dot, on the scale, and then rehydrates to whatever he was in the ring, and you can't even push him back. Regis Prograis couldn't push Devin Haney back at all. Anytime Devin Haney threw his hands with some aggression, he looked like the bigger man who was just bullying the smaller man to me. To me, I saw a big weight difference. But obviously, let's talk about the skills. I'm not saying Devin Haney, it wasn't skills. Devin Haney has the skills, has the speed, has the footwork, but he also has the weight advantage, the size advantage. And, like I said, it showed in the ring. I think that the size was quite a big difference. Like I said before, a lot of people got quite a misconception about Devin Haney, thinking that he wasn't really that good and he didn't have that pop. And really, it was just because he was boiling himself down to a weight that he was rapidly outgrowing. I knew that was the case. I knew he would be more comfortable at 140. I knew the power would come through at 140, and it will be the same for 147. Haney is not a small guy. He cannot go back to 135 pounds. Maybe he could do it, but I don't see the point of it. The sad thing about Regis Prograis, I really like him. I think he's a brave guy. I think he's a good fighter. I didn't really like to see him lose. I like his attitude. I think he's very honest. I like the way he gave Haney props at the end of the fight. He never gave any excuses or called him a weight bully or anything like that, And he just said he was better. He had faster feet. I noticed that the footwork was the main issue. A lot of things wrong. A lot of things wrong in Regis Prograis' corner. Not even with Regis. Regis really trained for this fight. Like I said, I am a fan of him, but his corner could have told him different things to do. They were trying to coach him to do something different. Regis was just following him. He couldn't quicken up his feet. And the footwork is what he has to work on. One of many things he has to work on. The good news is Regis Prograis knows that his footwork wasn't good enough, and that's a good thing. It's always good when you know yourself what your problem is. He has to work on his footwork, definitely. His footwork was very, very slow compared to his hand speed, which was relatively fast, but not as fast as Haney. Haney had faster hands and feet, so that was always going to be difficult. I would have liked to see Regis just quicken up that feet and change angles with his feet, cutting off the ring. He doesn't know how to cut off the ring, which is a common complaint that a lot of people said about him, and he proved it. The unfortunate thing about this fight was all the detractors, all the things that people said about Regis that he was kind of annoyed about, they were all true. Everything. They said he had slow feet. They said he had slow feet. They said he couldn't cut off the ring. He had his head on the center line, but he started to get his head off the center line, but he wasn't that quick when it came to punching. He couldn't close the distance. I would have liked to see him just kind of change up the pace and change up the angles with his footwork. His footwork was exactly the same all the time and was extremely predictable. But like I said, even though all the things I'm saying, this yourself, fans who watched the fight just like I did, you can see what Prograis was missing. I can't help but feel like the size thing was a really big deal for Devin Haney. He was always cutting a lot of weight at 135 pounds, and he just grew out of that weight class, and he looked much better, healthier, faster, stronger at 140. And like I said, I think he's going to be the same at 147. And it's a shame that Regis Prograis didn't start his career at a lower weight. Maybe he did. I haven't even checked it. Let me know if he fought at a lower weight before, or was he a champion at a lower weight? I didn't hear of him being a champion at 130 or 135. I only know Regis Prograis as a 140-pound fighter for a very long time. But I will look it up to see if he ever fought at a lower weight. But to me, I feel like he can, looking at his body size and his shape, I feel like he can make 135 pounds now. Even at his age of 34, he could make 135 pounds. But he won't, because he's too old. But before he reached 30, he could have done it. I would have liked to have seen him be a champion at 135 and then moving up to 114. He didn't do that. The other thing he said in the post-fight conference was that he wants to go for some of the other champions. I think this is a good attitude. He's got a great chance at beating some of the other fighters, the other champions. I mean, at 140 pounds. So I think he should go for that. But I can't help but feel like things are going to get a lot worse for Regis Prograi. Really, he's on the wrong age, the wrong end of 30. You know, mid 30s now, coming up to 35. He's going to encounter Ryan Garcia coming up to 140 with that power. Shakur Stevenson with those skills and probably going to have power at 140. A lot of people, a lot of fighters that are coming up that I think, unfortunately, may hurt Regis Prograi more than Devin Haney did. So, yeah, maybe he's coming to the end of a career for Regis Prograi. If he can win another title, which he's definitely capable of doing, and then jumping over to MMA, which he always said he wanted to do, then I think that would be a success for him. And I'd like to see him have success with that. Other than that, let's talk about Devin Haney for a minute. Great performance. I knew that he would do it. Too many skills. He started from such an early age, learning from Floyd Mayweather Sr., Floyd Mayweather Jr. You see all the Floyd Mayweather moves. You know, he's that great footwork, that defensive mindset. Never put himself in harm's way. He always punched in a position from where he could be safe. He only took chances as he could see, as he was breaking Prograi down. He didn't try to rush him, even when he knocked him down in the third round. I think it was the third round. When he knocked him down, he didn't rush his work. He wanted to, but his dad kept him quite disciplined and said, look, your work is working, you're busting him up. Just keep going. Keep it disciplined and keep the same thing, breaking him down, which is what he did. I'm happy that Regis Prograi didn't get stopped. You know, I think he can live with this. You know, I know it was an embarrassing defeat. He hardly landed any punches. 10% of his punches he landed. That's embarrassing. But getting knocked out would have been a lot worse. So, you know, he can say, well, he's a young guy, this is his time, but he didn't really have power, he didn't really hurt me, but I couldn't really catch up with him and stuff like that. And you can get a bit of respect from that. If you get knocked out, there's not much you can say. So I feel like Regis Prograi kind of got a bit lucky. But I don't think he was that far away from being stopped, to be honest. He did well to stay on his feet. He did well. He's a strong guy, like I said, just a little bit undersized for 140, I feel. Well, for the new generation of 135 pounders coming up to 140, those young guys are big guys, man. They're big guys, and when they rehydrate, that's when you see their real size and their strength, you know. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the fight. Other than that, I liked the performance. I won't say I like the fight because we didn't see really a back and forth from Regis Prograi because he couldn't close the distance. But I like the performance from Devin Haney. I always said that he is one of the best. Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney are the best. They're the most athletic, the most skilled, and they have everything. You know, Shakur Stevenson, I'll put him in there as well, but I still think Devin Haney probably beat Shakur maybe. But it's difficult to say because I think Shakur's got great defense and reflexes. And I know for certain Devin Haney won't be able to land on Shakur like the way he landed on Regis. So that's a great fight. Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney, that's going to be a great fight. I favour Devin Haney in that because he's more accurate, he's more skilled, and he doesn't take chances, unlike Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, less skilled, less defense, more chances. He takes more chances, he's got less skills and less defense. And even though he has speed and good reactions and instincts, that's a recipe for disaster against someone like Devin Haney. So we're going to have to see these fights. Hopefully these fights happen. Let me know what you think of the fight. A great night of boxing. I'm on to the next one.
I said, guess who's back? Man, guess who's back? I said, guess who's back?